All right, guys, just here going over the first final exam review for you guys. This one is about profit, which one of your final exam tasks is about. So the essence of profit is that we're going to problem solve using some sort of quadratic formula. In this case, it's this quadratic right here, where X is the price of admissions for a Boys and Girls Club skateboarding contest. And when you plug in X, it will give you back the profit, which is the money that you make after all your expenses. So first question says if they were to break even, that means they did not make money or lose money. And on the graph, the breaks evens would be the x-intercepts. That would be true. So you could either find them by finding the x-intercepts on the graph, which we'll do in a second, or you can use the quadratic formula. So question 2 says, how could you, in detail, how could you use the graph to find the break-even points? Not a great picture here. It's better if you open it up in a new window, but you can certainly manage it here because it's missing the gear to change the window. But to find the break-even points, you're going to find the x-intercepts on the graph. So if you're looking for a way to show your work with that, you can go in here and just say graph the function. Oops. Graph the function and find your x-intercepts, okay, in Desmos. So I can show you what that looks like too. So the function was negative 5x squared. I want to show you guys a better picture so I can come back to this. So negative 5x squared plus 133x. And then I think the last part of the rule, was minus 150. And I just want to show you guys a better picture with this because if I kind of zoom out, this isn't a great window, but I can create a better window by using this little gear in the corner, and you're going to want to do that with your final exam. So if I hit the graph settings right here, and I don't care about negative prices for the contest, so I'm just going to go back a little bit before like negative 10. I can see my two break-even points, $1.18 and $25.42. So I'll change this a little bit past 25, so I'll just go up to 30. And then negative 40 is good. I just want to be a little bit underneath the axis. You can see it's going up to about 250 right there. That's not enough. So if I go up to 500, I'm not seeing the top yet or the vertex. So let's go up to, I don't know, let's say 1,000. And that looks like a pretty darn good picture to me, of which I can see my two break-even points right here. So if you have to explain it, I can find the break-even points by finding the x-intercepts. If I can find the vertex, it's right there. It's the peak. It's the maximum. Okay, so that's one question down. Okay. Next question says, how would you use the quadratic formula to do it? So essentially how you can do it, you already found the 2 points here, but what we would do in this class is if we wanted to use the quadratic formula, we would go into Schoology. Of course, always at the bottom of our page is calculator soup, so that's how we've done the quadratic formula in a remote setting. So I'll open that up, and we know my A value is negative 5, my B value is 133, and my C value is negative 150. This is going to show me the same two values that I found before as my break-even points, $1.18 and $25.42. So either of them are okay. So essentially, however you want to explain that here, that's fine, guys. I do want to make sure that you guys know how to access this and find that, but I'm not really looking for a whole lot here, just other than how you're going to use calculators. So it says what two prices will cause them to break even. Well, we found them two different ways. We can see them in the graph, $1.18 and $25.42. You can see them in calculator soup. Either way you find it, it's good enough. So it's asking you to write them. So I think it was $1.18. So 118, and they give you an example of how to write the format in $25.42, and that would be good. Okay, so it should give you feedback if that's correct. And if it marks it wrong, just because you have an extra space or something like that, I can always fix it at the end. So how would you find the maximum profit using a graph? We can pop right back to my graph that I've already made, and I've already made the scale well. To find the maximum, all I need to do is look for the highest point right here. So you guys can see the highest point on this graph occurs at $13.30. they make a maximum profit of $734.45. So both parts of that are important. Both parts make up the maximum of this function. So you can word that here however you'd like. And then the next question says, how using algebra, how could you find the maximum profit? Well, I'll show you. So I'll just go into the show your work here. So remember we had negative 5x squared plus 133x minus 150. And to find the vertex with algebra, what you do is you're going to take the negative b value, negative 133, and we're going to divide it by 2 times a, so 2 times negative 5. I'll save you a little bit of work. That's going to end up being 13.3. That's not an accident because we've already found that to be 13.3 on the graph as well. So once you're there, you can go ahead and then plug in the 13.3 into your function. So I'm going to plug that in both spots for x. So plus 133 times 13.3. And then minus 150. And when I do that, I'm going to end up with the same value, 734.45. 734.45. So 13.3, comma 734.45. Good evidence for this could be pasting your graph in, all that kind of stuff. So, on your final exam, you're going to be asked to show evidence of your solutions. So that's always a good idea, is to be able to show that there. You can put your explanation in of how we did that. That choice is yours. So we got here the maximum profit is 13.3 and 734.45. That is what I got. So I'm thinking that's true. I wish we would word this as the maximum profit is $734.45 when we charge $13.30, but either way, that's okay. Okay, next question we've got for some more questions down here. So we've got the cost equation for pro skateboards is given by this. So what do we, if we make 1,000 pro boards, how much would that cost us? It is more obvious than you think. So just all we're going to do is plug into our, whoops, I lost the equation there. So let's see, I wonder if I can copy and paste it. So 20,000 plus 120x. So 20,000, and of course we're making 1,000 of these. So 20,000 plus 120 times 1,000. Okay, so that should be, let's see, that would be 120. Let me just add it up. I'll use my calculator. So 20,000, just plugging it in. It's going to end up giving us 140,000, which should be good. So 140,000 should be our answer here. All right, so what would their income be if they sold 1,000 skateboards for $200 each? They give you a reminder that income is equal to profit times X, which X would assume be the number, price times X, where X would be the number of skateboards they sell. So if they're selling 1,000 at, let's see, it was 1,000 of them at $200 a piece. That is going to, in fact, give us 1,000 times 200. It's going to be 200,000. So that would be how much money they actually take in, their revenue, if they had sold 1,000 skateboards. So we'll just go ahead and put in 200,000. Good. And then we want to know what the profit would actually be. So for profit, profit is always equal to income minus expenses. I can do that in my head with this for 1,000 skateboards. 200,000 minus 140,000 is going to give us a profit of $60,000. And that's it. So that's your little recap into profit. I hope that's helpful for you guys. Please feel free to ask me any questions and let me know if there's anything I can do to help.